if you've been coding for 6 months, maybe a year or 2 years, but you feel like a beginner, the problem is not your intelligence, the problem is how you learn. In today's video, I would like to walk you through how you can easily learn in the best way so that you can code like a pro developer. So let's move together and see how we can improve our coding skills. Today I will show you how you can stop coding like a beginner and start coding and thinking like a developer. Now look, the painful truth is that most developers do code and watch 40-hour tutorials, copy code, they copy paste and then build clone projects. Feel productive but can't build any project on themselves. Coding is not just Netflix, but it's a skill. Don't copy paste. You may do that, but at the end of time, you can go ahead and repeat coding by yourself. Here is what beginners do wrong. They code a project, watch tutorial, finish the tutorial, they watch another and another, but at the end they have a lot of code but with less experience. When someone tells you build me a dashboard and you start looking around, if you don't understand every line of code you're writing, you're not coding, other words, you're typing. What beginners do, they avoid problems, but real developers chase problems. Growth lives inside confusion. If a developer chases confusion, chases bugs, a beginner will run away from bugs, maybe deletes the project and then builds it again. They don't want bugs. Now do this. Build tutorials. After learning a concept, if you're on YouTube, close YouTube, close a course you're learning, build from memory. If you're learning HTML, build a landing page. If you're learning JavaScript, build a to-do app. If you're learning React.js, build a mini dashboard. That's the truth about learning to code. If you want to learn coding and you have done your code and it's perfect, you can easily break it by intention and then rebuild it again. You can force your brain to learn to code. Open your project and remove a function, change logic, and refactor something, convert val. If you use the val, you can use let, or maybe you can change and use const function so that you can easily learn all the concepts. Rewrite without copying or without looking at anything. Change that code at your own and rebuild it again. That will force you to learn and it will build your brain. Think like an engineer. Stop thinking like a beginner. Here's the thing. Stop asking, what code do I write? Instead, you can ask, what problem am I solving? That seems to be a developer rather than a beginner. And an example is here. I need React for this. That sounds as a beginner. But a developer, a senior one, can ask and think, I need a system that updates UI when data changes. That that thinks like it sounds like a senior developer. not a beginner. Now, you can improve the way you ask, the way you question something to becoming a senior developer. Now, this is what senior developers do. The secret about knowing and understanding. Make Google your friend as you're coding. What you should do, you should be Google efficiently. You may use Google in case of anything like a bug. Another thing is that if you're learning, maybe you want to open source or anything, or you're learning a language, you can read the documentation, debug step by step. You can write less code, but when it's a better code, other than writing a lot of code with nothing, memorizing everything. They don't memorize everything, uh, but they understand the patterns, the way code moves. That makes them different. Now, why that matters? Learning the patterns. It matters. Here's why. Now, if you're freelancer, maybe you get a freelance client or a remote job, you get high paying salary job, no client will ask you first go and watch the YouTube tutorial, or you may not tell a client, let me first go and watch a YouTube video. You should be confident and write code at your own. This is why you should learn the coding patterns.
If you're
You
trying to learn
should
HTML in
write code
2026 and
at
it
the
feels
end of the
confusing,
day.
boring,
Don't
or
learn
outdated,
a
you're not the
lot
problem.
a day.
The
Just
problem is how people are
learn
teaching
simple
HTML.
lines, 1,
In this
2,
video,
5
I'll show you the
lines.
modern,
Repeat
realistic
those
way to learn
code
HTML
of
in
lines
2026,
by
even
your
if you've
own
never written a
from your
single line of
brain.
code.
Do you know you can
What
improve
HTML
your
really
code
is?
within 30 days?
HTML is not
Here's how, and this is the way you can make it. For the next 30 days, which is a month, you can improve and become good at coding. See how you can move on. So you can build one project per week. You can repeat that project at your own without looking. First, learn it, watch a video or watch a course, learn a course. Repeat that small project, not a big one, but simple project, and repeat building it at your own. That is one. No full video tutorial. Try writing everything from scratch at your own. Even though it's a simple app, write it at your own. After that, push to GitHub, and pushing to GitHub is another skill. It adds on your knowledge of being a software developer. Now, another thing is that improve one project that is on GitHub in case it needs to be updated. Update something so that it can look nice and with good code. Write cleaner code every week. Consistency beats talent. That's what I can tell you, that do that consistently. Within 30 days, you will be good. You will be very okay at coding. That's a 30 days trial, and repeat that at your own. You'll see the improvement. If you stop coding like a beginner today, in the next months you will be a different person and you will not recognize yourself. You won't believe that it's you, but when it's you, doing that. The difference between a beginner and a pro developer is not the years they have taken to code, but the mindset and how they learn to code. That was it for today. Let me assure you that it's a guarantee that if you follow all those concepts, uh, everything as it has been throughout this video, believe me, at the end of the month, doing and following every concept I have given you, you will be a different person. You will thank me later. Thanks for watching. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss um, any useful content. Peace. You've been coding for 6 months, maybe a year or 2 years, but you feel like a beginner. The problem is not your intelligence, the problem is how you learn. In today's video, I would like to walk you through how you can easily learn in the best way so that you can code like a pro developer. So let's move together and see how we can improve our coding skills. Today I will show you how you can stop coding like a beginner and start coding and thinking like a developer. Now look, the painful truth is that most developers do code and watch 40-hour tutorials, copy code, they copy paste and then build clone projects. Feel productive but can't build any project on themselves. Coding is not just Netflix, but it's a skill. Don't copy paste. You may do that, but at the end of time, you can go ahead and repeat coding by yourself. Here is what beginners do wrong. They code a project, watch tutorial, finish the tutorial, they watch another and another, but at the end they have a lot of code but with less experience. When someone tells you build me a dashboard and you start looking around, if you don't understand every line of code you're writing, you're not coding, other words, you're typing. What beginners do, they avoid problems, but real developers chase problems. Growth lives inside confusion. If a developer chases confusion, chases bugs, a beginner will run away from bugs, maybe deletes the project and then builds it again. They don't want bugs. Now do this. Build tutorials. After learning YouTube, close a course you're learning. Build from memory. If you're learning HTML, build a landing page. If you're learning JavaScript, build a to-do app. If you're learning React.js, build a mini dashboard. That's the truth about learning to code. If you want to learn coding and you have done your code and it's perfect, you can easily break it by intention and then rebuild it again. You can force your brain to learn to code. Open your project and remove a function, change logic, and refactor something, convert val. If you use the val, you can use let, or maybe you can change and use const function so that you can easily learn all the concepts. Rewrite without copying or without looking at anything. Change that code at your own and rebuild it again. That will force you to learn and to build your brain. Think like an engineer. Stop thinking like a beginner. Here's the thing. Stop asking, what code do I write? Instead, you can ask, um, what problem am I solving? That seems to be a developer rather than a beginner. And an example is here. I need React for this. That sounds as a beginner. But a developer, a senior one, can ask and think, I need a system that updates UI when data changes. That that thinks like it sounds like a senior developer, not a beginner. Now you can improve the way you ask, the way you question something to becoming a senior developer. Now, this is what senior developers do. The secret about knowing and understanding. Make Google your friend as you're coding. What you should do, you should be Google efficiently. You may use Google in case of anything like a bug. Another thing is that if you're learning, maybe you want to open source or anything, or you're learning a language, you can read the documentation, debug step by step. You can write less code, but when it's a better code, other than writing a lot of code with nothing, memorizing everything. They don't memorize everything, um, but they understand the patterns, the way code moves. That makes them different. Now, why that matters? Learning the patterns. It matters. Here's why. Now, if you're freelancer, maybe you get a freelance client or a remote job, you get high paying salary job. Uh, no client will ask you first go and watch the YouTube tutorial, or you may not tell a client, let me first go and watch a YouTube video. You should be confident and write code at your own. This is why you should learn the coding patterns. You should write code a day. Don't learn a lot a day. Just learn simple lines, 1, 2, 5 lines. Repeat those code of lines by your own from your brain. Do you know you can improve your code within 30 days? Here's how. And this is the way you can make it. For the next 30 days, which is a month, you can improve and become good at coding. See how you can move on. So you can build one project per week. You can repeat that project at your own without looking. First, learn it, watch a video or watch a course, learn a course. Repeat that small project, not a big one, but simple project, and repeat building it at your own. That is one. No full video tutorial. Try writing everything from scratch at your own. Even though it's a simple app, write it at your own. After that, push to GitHub, and pushing to GitHub is another skill. It adds on your knowledge of being a software developer. Now, another thing is that improve one project that is on GitHub in case it needs to be updated. Update something so that it can look nice and with good code. Write cleaner code every week. Consistency beats talent. That's what I can tell you, that do that consistently. Within 30 days, you will be good. You will be very okay at coding. That's a 30 days trial, and repeat that at your own. You'll see the improvement. If you stop coding like a beginner today, in the next 6 months, you will be a different person and you will not recognize yourself. You won't believe that it's you, but when it's you doing that, the difference between a beginner and a pro developer is not the years they have taken to code,
If you're
but
trying
the
to learn HTML
mindset
in
and how
2026 and it feels
they
confusing,
learn
boring, or outdated,
code. Today,
the problem is how people are
let me assure you that it's a guarantee that if you follow all those concepts, everything as it has been throughout this video, believe me, at the end of the month, doing and following every concept I have given you, you will be a different person. You will thank me later. Thanks for watching. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss full content. If you've been coding, I would like to walk you through how you can easily learn, do code, and work.
The problem is how people are teaching HTML. In this video, I'll show you the modern, realistic way to learn HTML in 2026, even if you've never written a single line of code. What HTML really is. HTML is not a programming language. It's a structure language like the skeleton of a website. Even in 2026, HTML is still the foundation of every website, app, and web system you use. From YouTube to online banking, AI hasn't replaced HTML. Instead, AI made HTML more important, because you need to understand what the AI generates. What not to do. First, let me save you months of frustration. Don't memorize tags. Don't start with frameworks. Don't watch 40-hour tutorials. Don't copy-paste without understanding. HTML is simple, people just teach it in a boring, outdated way. The best way to learn HTML in 2026. Step 1. Learn only the core tags. You only need about 15 to 20 HTML tags to build real websites. Focus on HTML tags, head tag, body tag. H1 to H6 tags. P tag, a tag, img. Div, section, header, footer. Form, input, button. UL tags, li tag. That's it. Ignore the rest for now. Step 2. Learn HTML with a project. Don't learn HTML alone. Learn it while building something. Start with a personal profile page, a simple landing page, a contact form, a blog layout. Every tag you learn should appear on the page immediately. Step 3. Use AI the right way. In 2026, AI is your tutor, not your replacement. Ask AI. Explain this HTML tag clearly. Fix my HTML and tell me what I did wrong. Generate a simple HTML page, then explain each line. If you don't understand the output, ask again. How to practice HTML fast. The fastest way to learn HTML is daily tiny practice. Try this. 20 to 30 minutes per day. Build one small page daily. Rewrite the same page from memory. Break things on purpose, then fix them. HTML is learned by doing, not watching. Understand this? HTML is easy, but only if you learn it the right way. Master HTML first, and CSS and JavaScript become much easier. If this video helped you, like and subscribe for modern web dev tutorials. And comment more if you want a CSS or JavaScript follow-up.
Yes, alright guys, I'm happy that we are still together. So in this video, let's make some animation of an airplane of this kind. You see that the airplane starts from this point and then shifts and then heads up. So let's make this tutorial using HTML and CSS only and do a 3D animation of this kind. So just go straight to your desktop. I have a new folder here, and when you look at this folder, I have 3 images. I have the airplane, the background, and then I have the road. So if you need this I will make sure that I provide the source for these images so that you can download and you can use them for free. So let's get started. I will check in the description. I'll make sure that I provide the source for these images. When you drag your folder in VS Code, this is the folder. So let me create a new file. I need to create a new file, index.html. But let me first have a look. Sorry, let me put this in a folder called images. I don't want to mix the images. Yes, these are the images. This is the file that we have created. So when you come back, yes, this is what I wanted. So if you create a new file, it is here, index.html. Then let's create another file called style.css and press enter. So we have index.html plus style.css. This is for styling. So when you come to HTML, just type doc as usual. For those that I have been moving with, once you press enter, it gives you a starting point, and here you can get started writing your HTML code. So at this point, let's first import our HTML, our CSS, and we do link rel equals style sheet. So left equals /style.css. There we have imported our CSS. So let me open this. It's blank just because nothing we have done so far. So let's try making something. So within your body, let's begin by putting the background. Let's put a div. We'll put a div. Let's give it a class of background. Within this, within this, okay, let's try to use this way. Let's try to use this way. Let's create a div. Within this div, let's use image. Let's say image class equals background. So we'll have a source dot slash images, then we have the background, and you close. So that's the source. You can come here and save your work if you come here, but you can use autosave. It automatically saves your work. So when you come back, we see that the image is now here, but it's not in a proper way that we need. Let's first style this and see. So if we are to style, let's first say the whole body will have a margin of 0 plus padding. Let's say box sizing will be border box. So from there we'll have a class, this background class. Let's say dot background, which is the class that is represented by this dot. So background, we say background size will be cover, and width will be 100%, and when we come to the height will be 100%, and then I think that's it. So then from that, let's come back to the HTML and let's insert the road. Let's insert the road where the plane will be moving. So you will come and the whole of this, and then you will paste it here, and you just change this class to road, and then the image source will be this road. So road has been is now here. So when we come back here to the styling and put the road, we will say that width of the road will be 100%. I think that's it. So now since it's now fine, and then if we come back, let's import the plane here at the top. Let's remove this, and we shall say that let this class be plane, and then the image source will be this airplane. So if we come back, we see that the airplane has been inserted, but it's in a wrong place. Let's try to see that we can fix it so that it can get to the right position. So from there we'll come here, we'll come to styling, we'll use this plain class, and we come to the styling dot plain, and cell width will be let's use width, let's give it 500 pixels, plus let the position be absolute, and then let's give it a margin top of 500 pixels, plus margin left to be 75 pixels. So if we come back here, let me use this to be 75%. Yeah, let me add an overflow to be hidden in the background, and let me add this body here, body hidden. Yeah, alright. As we continue, first of all, let me first comment out this one, the body, and you see transform translate x 0 pixels. At the next point we have at 50%, we'll put transform translate x minus 400 pixels. Another thing we have is 100%, transform translate x minus 1200, and then from that translate y minus 500 pixels, and from that rotate, because when the airplane is leaving the ground, it rotates a bit. There it makes a small angle as it goes up, so it will rotate to rotate 30 degrees. So if we are to come back, here is what we wanted to do. So you see, when the airplane comes, it rotates a bit as it is leaving the ground. It comes straight, then rotates a bit. So that's what we wanted to do. And if this video has been so helpful to you, and if you've liked it, give it a thumbs up and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any new content. So share the content to your friends and subscribe to the channel. So see you now in the next video. Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. Today
Let's see how we can make the best design of the website. The best design, let's make a design like this. We see our website is having a very nice animation. When you come to your website, once you refresh it, whenever someone arrives to the website, this is a clear introduction. The way the web appears makes it professional. You see? Yes, today we are to make this design. Right away, let's get started. Um, yes, go to your VS Code and you can say div class, um, let's say card1. You can put a typing card1, maybe you say h2. Hey, you can say Joseph, and now can go ahead and say copy this and paste it here. Yes, once you come here, you refresh, you see your text here, you see the text here. Copy this, the card, come to your design and put a class, then you can give it a width of, let's say width 550, width 550 pixels, and give it a height of 400 pixels, and a background color, give it white, and border radius, give it 10 pixels. Now you can give it a margin left, give it 50 pixels. Yes, once you refresh, you see something like this. Yes, we have got two cards, but let's say this is card 2. Let's give this a design card 2. You can just copy this, and paste it here. Just name this card 2 with this is similar, and just say just give this one 600 pixels margin left, and then margin top minus 420 pixels. Once you refresh, let's add something here. Is 650 pixels? Yes, that is the size. I can say I would like to add some animation. Here, once you refresh, there is no animation, but you would like to add some styling like this. When you refresh, it takes this action, that animation. Come back to your terminal and just type animation. You can say move animation. You can say move 4 seconds, and then say at keyframes move. I can say 50%. Today we shall use only 50% this, and say transform translate x you can say is it 50 pixels, and then rotate 45 degrees. Yes, something should be like that. But now here you can see yes, here let's say transform translate x. Should it be 60 pixels? Now here just come here to cut to animation, move. Now this is move 2. Let's say this is move 1. Now this is move 2. 4 seconds. Now say at keyframes, say move to just copy this, paste it here, and say give it just a minus, and this is a minus. As you refresh, you see something like this. Yes, you see something like this. We should add some distance here. Transform translate x. Is it? Should we make it 200 pixels? Yeah, 200 pixels, and here we make it 200 pixels. Yes, that is it. That is it. Yes, yes, that's what we wanted. So thanks for watching, and make sure if for more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, give a comment, give a thumbs up, and if you have any question you can raise it up in the comments box. Yes, thanks for watching.
Yes, alright, hello guys, I'm happy to see you now again in this video, and this tutorial will improve on our skills. Will make a 3D tube rotation. It will make kind of this tube that it rotates continuously, and it's a 3D design of HTML and CSS. So we need to improve on our skills in CSS so that we can make something similar to this. To start with this, you will go to your desktop and create a new folder. You can name it tube. Let's drag this folder in your VS Code. You can drag it in your VS Code, and then we'll create a new file called index.html. The next thing, we'll create another file called style.css, then press enter. From that, if you come back to your index.html, type the word doc, then press enter in VS Code. It will give you a starting point. From that, we have the body. This is the body that we can get started to type our code. Within the body, we'll put a div. We'll put a div. Press enter. It will have a class of wrapper. From that, I will put another div. This div this will have a class of container.
You might be saying, Matt, why does that even matter? Well, YouTube is trying to figure out who to promote your content to, especially in the first few hours of uploading your video. And if
within
your
the container will
enough,
have
then go ahead
4
and recommend
sites.
to other people. And if the first 10 or 20 people
From that we'll have a div.
stick around for a fraction of
This
video
will be
length, then YouTube is going to
div.
automatically assume that your content is
You
not
have
engaging.
a class
Instead, what you
of
want to do is wait
sides,
until your video has gained some
and
organic
then
traction and
the
let
back.
YouTube figure out your organic audience first. Then, if your video is
these
performing
sides
well
will be
after
representing
24 to 48
each
hours,
side
that's
dot.
when you can potentially share
Each
it to
side
your personal network.
with the
if you
same
want,
size, the
if you
front,
really
the
want
back,
to do that. So you don't have to do it with
plus
your friends
the
and family at all.
sides.
Typically, I
Then
don't use
this
the
is
majority of my
specifically
channels
for the
unless
back.
it's something that I just really want to share with a particular person. Then I'll go
This
ahead and
is
do
the
it if I think they might be able to get
back.
some value, whether it's entertainment or educational value
This
from
is
it.
the
But I did a
back.
whole video recently about why you
Back
should
side.
never share your videos. You can check that out on
If
my
you
channel.
copy this,
But the second mistake I see so many people making is
paste
watching their own
it here.
videos immediately. So just like it's bad to
Since
share your video with
this
people who are
this
likely
is
going to
the
watch a very small
left.
video, if you think about it, you also are likely to watch a pretty small percentage of the video.
This is
If
the
you click
left
to watch
side.
it, you're likely not going to watch the full
And
thing.
this
If that's
is
the
the
case, you might not want to go ahead and
right
watch your
side.
video directly after uploading.
This
And you
is
could make the
the
argument that YouTube
right
is smart
side.
enough to know that, hey, if it's your video that you uploaded, then they're going to be able to differentiate between you
then
and
this
somebody
is
else
the
watching the video. But in my opinion,
front.
it's best to play it safe, and it's best to not watch your own video after uploading it. In fact, the time you should be watching
This
your
is the
video
front
is
side.
before uploading your video if you want to check for mistakes or anything else. Now, this next mistake is super important that you do not make,
So
and you would be shocked at how many
from
people will
that,
do
if we
this
go
and
to the
completely
styling, we'll
destroy
need to
your channel as a
import
result, and that is buying
this
likes,
styling
views,
within
or
this
subscribers. Now, these
HTML
companies
file.
will tell you, oh, these aren't
We'll
bots,
say
they're going to be
link
real views, they're going to be real subscribers,
link
but it
rel
doesn't matter if these are real
equals
people or not. What matters is that
style
these
sheet.
people are not your target audience. A lot of times what these websites do
And
is
then
that they
we'll
pay
have
people to watch a bunch of your
left
videos, likely stuff that they're not even interested in at all,
of
just to drive up engagement, which first of all is against the YouTube terms of
style.css.
service, so if YouTube catches you
There
doing
the
this,
styling will be
banned off of YouTube. And
imported.
your content, people
From
they
there,
delete it after a day
let's
or a
try
couple
to
days
go and
after
open
uploading.
this
You
and
need to
see
understand that YouTube's algorithm
what we
so
have.
many people fall into this because
This
they
is
upload
what
a
we
YouTube
have
video
so far.
and it doesn't perform necessarily to their expectations, so they
So
delete it after a day or a couple days after uploading.
when we
You need to
come
understand
back
that YouTube's algorithm
here,
does not work on a 24-hour cycle.
let's now go
Sometimes
to
it
the
takes weeks or
styling.
even months for the
Let's
algorithm
go
to
to the
find out
styling
who the right
and see.
viewer is. I've seen videos that
The
had
styling
more than
will
100
have
views in the first month.
the
Not only
whole
explode to
the
get
whole
a
page
billion
will
views,
have a
because the
margin
algorithm is constantly
of
testing
0,
and retesting content. A video that doesn't perform today might
padding
be the algorithm's favorite
of
next
0.
month. You never know, and you won't know that if you just watch the video.
We
Every
have
video
a
you
box
create, you need to view as
box
an ad.
sizing
Even if the video doesn't go viral
border
immediately,
box.
it's still discoverable through search. It can still
And
reach
then
subscribers. It's still establishing your authority within your niche, and the moment you
for
delete
the
it, you
body,
lose all of that forever.
for the
It's a
body,
cliche
let's
at this point,
have
but a lot of people say you're always one video away from
width.
everything blowing up on YouTube, and as cliche as it
Let's
sounds,
have a
it's
width of
actually true. And
100
oftentimes videos
pixels
blow up weeks, if not months.
plus the
The
height
fifth mistake is manually moderating
plus
every
the height
single
of
comment that you get on your
100
videos. Now, I'm not saying that you
VH.
should ignore your comment section completely. Engagement is important, but
And
sitting
then
there for hours deleting every single
justify
negative
content
comment is
center
not a good use of your time.
plus
Here's what
align
you should do
items
instead. Go to your
center.
YouTube studio, click settings, and then community, and then scroll down until you see the options for automated content moderation. And then you can go ahead
So
and
from
add
there,
keywords that you don't want appearing in your comments. Things like this video sucks,
from there,
time,
we go
scam,
to
unsubscribe, basically any phrase that might discourage people from watching the rest of your video or subscribing to your channel. The thing is that people will comment negative stuff no matter how good and how useful your
from
video
there we
is.
have
So blocking these words is
a
a great way to
background color of
Also, make sure to enable the option that blocks links in comments. You don't want people dropping random links to redirect
if we
viewers
put
to other
black,
channels. The key here is
let me
automating
see.
this process with YouTube's internal tools, so you're not spending hours every single day beating the comments.
if we
That
go
way you can
with
focus
this
on
color,
responding to genuine engagement when it
here
is
is what we have.
Mistake number 6 is spending way too much time and energy focusing on when you
so
upload your videos. There's so
now
many
the
myths when it
next
comes
thing
to
we'll
this.
have
People claim they have the best upload time and to upload at this time because it's the best time. But really, especially in the beginning of your
let's
channel,
put a
the
display
audience
of
is
flex.
mostly on YouTube, and then upload according to that. You want to look at your fifth mistake is the technical. Mistake number 8 is not utilizing your community tab or external social
from
media
there,
or sources
if
that
we
you
are to
potentially get
continue,
links from. So yes,
we'll
you can go ahead,
have
go to your
this
community tab, post your video there. That's just one
we
more
have
thing
this class
remember to do it. But on top
here,
of that, if you have other social
this
media or
class
even
here,
an email list like I do, that's
the
related
wrapper,
to the niche of your channel,
copy
go ahead
that
and post the
and
video
put
to that social
dot
media or send it to your list
with
because
that
it's the
class
perfect audience to then funnel to your YouTube channel.
and say
That being said, do not do this if your external
perspective.
social media has nothing
Perspective
to do
will
with the
be
niche of your channel. The nice
1000
thing that I see all the time
pixels.
is constantly changing your titles, thumbnails after a video is published.
And
I
then
get that, like, my video isn't performing great. Should I change a title?
from
Should I
there,
change a thumbnail? And my response is almost
we'll have the
do not do it. Because the reality is, especially
container.
for smaller channels, it's so inconsequential
The container
to the
will
fact that
have
you're not getting
with this
significant data to make
width
a
of
informed
200
decision after
pixels
changing a title or a thumbnail. When Mr. Beast
plus
changes a thumbnail, it might make
plus
a
the
meaningful
height,
difference because he has massive data to work with. But if you have 1,000 subscribers,
200
changing the thumbnail,
pixels.
you're not going to be seeing a meaningful impact. So instead of wasting time doing any old videos that may
so
or may
from
not
there,
help, and even if it does, it won't be a huge significant difference. My recommendation, what I personally do, is to put
from
that
there,
energy into
we
making my
have
next video better. So do your best to be
position,
100% confident in your title and thumbnail prior to uploading the video.
position to be
Follow what has already
relative,
worked on YouTube, and then go. So
and
my rule
then
is don't look at the analytics at least for the first 24
let's
to 48 hours
say
after uploading the video, because you want to give your
transform,
content time to find the right audience
transform
and establish
style.
its initial performance pattern. And when you do check your analytics, look at the metrics that you're
this is
click-through
transform,
rate and average view reach. Those are the two numbers to focus
transform
on, but
style
relative to the rest of
to
your channel.
be
You just want your videos doing better than
to
your
reserve
channel's
3D.
average. So if your channel's average is 4% click-through rate and your video has less than 4, then your thumbnail
Let's
and your
put the
title
border
work for your future videos. But checking these numbers every single hour
pixels
is not going
solid,
to give you meaningful or useful data. You need
and
at
then
least 1,000 views to have statistically
see
significant analytics. And you need to give the algorithm
wait,
time to optimize your video reach. Now here's the final
yes,
mistake,
here
and
is
this
the
one ties
thing.
everything together, and that's treating the 24 hours after you
Here you
upload a
can
video
see
like it
the
doesn't
thing.
matter. The truth is that
So
the first 24 hours are crucial to your
from
video's
that,
long-term success, because this is when the YouTube algorithm is paying closest attention to your performance metrics and deciding whether or not your
we
video
can
needs
put transform style to reserve 3D, and then from that and then as we could proceed, let's go now, and then from that, so now if we are to come to the site, and then so if we come to the sites, it will have a width of, we'll say, inherit, and then plus the height, inherit, and then from there we have position, and the position to be absolute. And then we'll say I will say transform transform style. I will have preserve 3D, and then we have a display of flex, and then justify content center. Let's also say align items center, and then as we continue, sorry, we had made a mistake here. For the width of the body, this had to be 100%, not pixels. So if you continue back, let's put a font size maybe of 20 pixels, and then the opacity to be 0.5. so if we refresh, we can see, okay, let's put 25 pixels. So this is the
we are working on the back side. So the next thing that we need to work on, the next thing is this is the back side. So let's have a transform translate z minus 100 pixels, rotate this is rotate y 180 degrees. Yes. So the next thing is, if we come to the left, if we put the background color to be red, and then we'll copy this. So to have a transform, okay, let's do transform origin to be left. So from there, we can say transform translate z minus 100 pixels, rotate y minus 90 degrees. So here we see what we have so far. So and then from there we have the right side, which is this one. At the right side we have a background color of blue, and then we have transform origin to be left, and then I have transform translate z minus 100 pixels, rotate y to be 90 degrees. Is it? So here this was to be right, transform origin had to be right, and so from there you see it's now on the right hand side. And the next thing is the front side, which is this one. The front side will have a background color of yellow, and we have a transform
transform translate Z 100 pixels. Yes, I think here we have something. Good. So from there, let's try making some rotation and see. Let's try making some rotation and see what takes place. We'll come to here to the container, animation rotate 8 seconds, linear infinite. From there you'll have here, you'll have at keyframes rotate, at 0%. We'll have transform translate, transform rotate 0 degrees. This is rotate Y. We are rotating the Y axis. So at 100%, we have a transform rotate 360 degrees. So from there, this is rotate Y. This is what we wanted. So but there is this middle line that we don't need for now. It is on the container. Let's comment this out. Yes, now I think we have some good work that we have done so far. So let me know down in the comment section if this video has been so helpful, and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe so that you get notified of any useful content. See you in the next video.
How are you today? Let's see how we can make this up. Right now, text to speech app. You can see that as you write something like this, you click this button,
Now are you?
it's saying now are you. Let's say type this and click.
Hello world. Hello world.
Yes, as you increase here,
Hello world. Hello world.
now as you reduce,
Hello world.
yeah,
Hello world.
yeah, this is a very nice app, yeah, with great designs. Let's get started right now and see. Just come here and to the desktop and create a new folder. and you can name it text to speech. Just come here IDE and then just drag the folder you have created, otherwise you can open it. So we are to see here how we can create this app from scratch, and we need to create a new folder here. We need to make this app with HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Let's make index.html. Create another file called style.css. For that case, let's come to index.html. Just type doc, and then we see how we can continue. Within, just type something like this, and then within the header we can import the style. Clear equals style sheet. Ref equals style.css. Just come here to the body, and then create a div. Just give it a class of container. Within the container we'll have a title. You have a title. Let's say this is an H1. We can say that let's say text to speech, and then just come down and create another div. You can, let's say that before that, just come here and say text area, something like this. And we'll give it an ID of text. Then we'll give the columns will be 20. Let the columns be 30, and the rows will be something like 15. This is the text area, and then within this div we'll need a label. label for speed, label for speed. This is speed. Then this is an input type. Input type will be range, and then from that side we will give it an ID. We give it an ID of speed. Let's just come and open it and see. Yes, you can see. You give it a placeholder here, some text. Give it a placeholder equals write text here. Just copy the whole of this and paste it here, and then we have to change this. This is label for pitch, and then this ID will be pitch. This is pitch. So hope that's it. Yeah, seeing now something. Seeing something coming. And now let's try to, but it is not measured well. It has to, once you click it, come right here. Let's add something here and say that label for label input type equals range, max will be 2. Also here max will be 2. So you see that once you click, it's clear now. Let's give it some styling. So let's say margin will be 0, padding will be 0, and then box sizing will be border box. When we come to the body, for the body width has to be 100% with an height of 100 ph. We will give it a display of flex, and then justify content center, and then align items center. Yeah, we see that our app is displayed from the center. So for that, for the body, we give it a background of, let it be linear gradient, let it be red, and then let it be orange. For that case, yes, we are seeing something coming now. I will continue, and once we come to the, let's come here and we get this div class container. Now we are styling this container, so just come here and say for the container border will be 5 pixels solid, and for the color will be blue. For the border radius will be 10 pixels. The radius will be 10 pixels. For the background color will be light blue, and then we'll give it a padding of 10 pixels. Let's come here and say, let's give it a height of 500 pixels. Yes, we need it to be something of this nature, this kind. So once we come, let's come back here. For the rows, should the rows be 10? Yes. Then columns should be 40. Yes, it should be something of this kind. And now, once we come to the text area, this text area, let's give it some styling. For the text area, we give it a padding of 10 pixels. For the title, let's style also this title. Let's give it a class of title. And then we'll give it a padding of 10 pixels, and then font size should it be something like 50 pixels. The font weight will be 90 pixels. Sorry, this should be 900. Yes. Now we are seeing something coming. So for the font size, will it be 15? it like this. Yes. And for the container, we don't have this background color for the container. Should do something like this. And then we have also box shadow. This 0 is it 15 pixels, and then #ff is coming now. For the text area, we have a border radius of 5 pixels. Text area, then background color be light blue. Now we are seeing something. Now for this title, also for the color has to be, is it? Yes. Is it like that? Yes. And now from that, we need to add a button here. Need to add a button. Need to add a button down here. Button. Speak. To give it an ID of button. Hope that's it. So yes, for that case, but let's implement it. Let's implement at least our button. So once we come to the style.css, we'll say dash button. Let's give it a padding of 5 pixels. Something like that. Is it? And then 15 pixels. Something like this. Now let's give it a border radius of 5 pixels. Then background color of light blue, and then let's give it a cursor pointer. At least something is implemented. At least. Now let's go to the next step where we can, once we enter some text and click, it is spoken by your machine. Just come just come here and create a new file called main.js, and then from that let's say let text equals document dot get element by id text. Just come here down the body tab, we put our JavaScript, so, and say script source will be equals to main.js. So let's come and say this is the text ID that will be had once we click the button. Once we click, we need this text in here to be had here, then spoken. So let text equals to this id.get element by id, and then from that you say let button equals document dot get element by id, document dot get element by id button. This get element by id helps us to listen to the file in index.html. So from that I will say let's speech equals new speech synthesis utterance. Now from that we will say button dot add event listener, click, then we have empty brackets, arrow sign, then we'll just say speech dot text will be equals to text dot value. Be equals to text dot value. Speech dot rate will be equals to now we have to also have something here let speed equals document dot get element by id speed. And also here let each equals document dot get element by id pitch. So we'll now say speech.text equals text.value. Speech.rate will be equals to speed, will be equals to speed dot value, speed dot value. So from that, speech dot volume be equals to 1, and now from that, once you reduce,
We have completed. We have completed. We have completed. We have completed.
yes, hope that was nice. Make sure you subscribe for the next videos, next wonderful videos. Thanks for watching.
Hello guys, today let's have a look at how we can add CSS to an HTML file. So we are on a learning web development. We are on a full course of HTML and CSS. We have this assignment here of making these buttons here. So let's do each and everything from scratch until when we do something similar to this. If you have your VS Code, just come here to your desktop and create a new file and name it answer. We are going to do the answer of this assignment. So bring that file and drop it there in your IDE. I'm using VS Code. So once you click on this, click here, create a new file. Once you create it, you can type answer.html. Once you type DOC in your VS Code and press enter, it will bring something like this, similar to this, showing you how you can get started with your HTML file. It gives you a quick start on how you can get started with HTML. So here, this is the body section, this is the head section. So in the body section, this is where we put our HTML code. So let me minimize as we can see what we are working on. Okay, so from that, let's get started now. In the body section, we have two buttons. Let's type button. It has an opening and closing. It has a greater than sign and a less than sign. This is how we do the button in HTML. So for the button, it will have a name like. So I could have gone here to save this work like this, but I have autosave. Autosave helps you to automatically save each and everything you do at that moment. So when I come here and open, I need to open this that I've worked on. So we see that it was saved. So here we see that it is now opened. On our assignment, we have buttons like this. Also the cursor, when you hover above the button, the cursor changes. So here is what we have done so far. So once you come back here, we have 3 buttons. So just copy and just copyright to the HTML page. So let's get started from an inline to the HTML page. So let's get started from an inline styling. So here on this part, just put a space and type style equals and you say background color to be, the background color is green, something like that. When you come back, just save your work here. Just save your work here, and then just save your work here, and then come back and refresh. Once you refresh, we see something that has changed. But as you style in your HTML, make sure you leave a space. If you don't leave a space, your work won't work. What you do won't work. You see that HTML can't explain this. It reads it as a full tag, but you should leave a space so that it can be easily read. So from there, I can come back and type color to be, once you say -ff, that's the same as white. Once you come and refresh, but if you are not good at this, mainly if you're new to coding, just also write white. It works the same. Once you refresh, you see that it's very okay. So what's next is this subscribe button, but there is also what you call padding here. But let's first look at the color. So the next, we have this button here. We have this button. Okay, let's do it at this size. We need to make it exactly like this size. So I should also come here and say padding is not auto. Padding will be 5 pixels. I leave a space and set 10 pixels. Once you come and refresh, you see that the button is now okay. At the top, there is 5 pixels. At the width, there is 10 pixels. Once you come to this next button, it is a subscribe button. First of all, remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any new content and upcoming important videos. So just come here and copy the whole of this and come again to this part, paste it here. What you'll do is to change this color to red, and then the padding is the same, and change this to subscribe. Subscribe. It is a subscribe button. Once you come back and refresh, I will see that the button is very okay, and we shall do the same to that. Leave a space and paste this. This is blue, and this is share. It's share button. You see that it's now okay, but we see that once you hover over that button, the cursor changes to a point. So we should change the way the cursor appears once you hover over the buttons. And another thing is this. And another thing is that there is some space here at the top and from here. So we are going to use another type of styling, internal styling. This is an inline styling that we have been working on. So another type of styling is internal styling. So it's here between the head and the body is where we shall put our styling. So just type style like this. Just type style like that. We shall put a star like this. And this star represents the full page. If you put a star, it indicates that you're meaning the whole of the page. So once you say something like that, background color to be arc, you see that it represents a full page. This star, the full body. So once you do something like padding, let's do a padding of, I'll put a padding of 20 pixels. I think it's the same. This is how the original page, and this is what we have done. We see that the padding is okay, it's similar to this. So another thing is to put the pointer here. Once you hover, we shall use what we call the ID to specialize each button. So this is, we can use ID equals button 1. Once you copy this, this is another button 2. Just
paste here. This is button 3. Specialize each button. But once you come to the styling, ID is represented in this way. Hash button represents the ID. The hash symbol represents the ID. Hash button let me do like this. Yes, it is working very well. Hash button 3. Separate with a comma plus a comma. Once you refresh, you see that the cursor has changed. The original, it's something similar to this. So I hope this part has been so helpful. But another thing is that let's try using an external styling in HTML and CSS. So let's import CSS using an external CSS, just importing our file. So if you are to import, let me first remove this. You're free to copy this work. You can learn. We can learn together. You can pause as you can save your work and then start afresh. Here we have started afresh. So this is button and the like button, and now we have gone back. So I'd like to use an external to import the CSS from another page. So we can open a new file. We can name it answer.css. So there are two different files. This is for HTML, this is for CSS. I'd like to import the CSS to this file. So first of all, let's put this and see whether it works very well. The star represents the whole page. So let's try saying background color to be this one. So here is the page. It has no styling. So we'll have the button. I'll use this to specialize the buttons. Here we need ID is more important. Hash, or for this time let's use class. Last time we used ID. Let's say class equals button 1. So once we use class is similar to ID. It gives the same thing. So once we type class and then copy it here, it becomes class button 2, and then this becomes button 3. So from that, it has no change to the site. But let's come to the CSS and see. Once you come to CSS,
we have class button 1, button 1, I have button 1. In CSS, we saw that the ID is represented by this hash symbol. The ID is represented by this hash symbol, but in class you put a dot, something like that, to represent a class. So class 1, let's say that let's look at the assignment and see. The assignment is like this. Once we come back, button 1, this is button 1. Let's set background color to be green. And but we haven't seen any change. Even though you refresh, nothing, just because we haven't imported our styling. So from there, let's do an import. In CSS, if you're importing your CSS file from an external file, it should be in the head section. For the inline, it is between the head and the body, or else at the bottom of the body, this part. But importing, let's put it between the head. You can type linkrel equals style sheet and say ref equals dot slash answer dot css and close the tag. So I think this will be done. Once we come back, once we refresh, we see that CSS has been imported. From there, let's continue and say there is padding of 5 pixels to 10 pixels. Button 2, you can also put another class of button 2 and do the same as I have done, but you can also put that here, comma, and put that class here. Then we put comma and we put class 3. Once you refresh, we see that our buttons are similar, but because we'd like to change the color, this format won't work because it will take also the color of this. So we can use button 2 to be background color to be red, padding here. So for the next part, this is button. See there? Sorry. Here you can do it that something like this. And put a comma and paste button 2, comma, button 3. That's that would be pointer. Once you refresh, you see that the work is done. Or else you can copy this and put on every part here. So that was it. So I'd like to see you in the next video as we're gonna start building a site using HTML and CSS. Just get tuned, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any useful content.